Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. Mississippi, the land of my birth, is a very foreign land, Mississippi Northwest. Not the least of the differences are the 5 long months of steamy, sticky weather and the icky bugs that thrive in it down there. Dixie swarms with pesky little critters such as black flies and mosquitoes. And the gigantic cockroaches, la cucarachas, can terrify toddlers, even tattooed punk rockers. But not my father. My daddy was a good old boy. He was raised on a farm. He was a Baptist preacher. He specialized in my youth in finding ways to gross me out, often excruciatingly. The worst way I think he ever did it was when he'd walk around the house and he'd see a cockroach and he'd walk over to it and stomp on it and squish it with his bare feet. I just thought that was so gross. Well, growing up in the South with this sort of attitude towards insects, it's not surprising that when I was an adult and read that people in other cultures ate insects and enjoyed them, I thought they were crazy. I also wondered if they kissed each other after they did it. The speech tonight is about the sea change in my thinking from being one who scoffed at the thought of eating insects to one who not only eats them, but is here today trying to persuade you to do the same. Now, before I go any further, I have to tell you, I can hear my dearly departed daddy speaking to me in my head, and he's saying, "Son, what in tarnation are you doing talking to these fine people about eating bugs for? Are you out of your cotton picking mind?" Well, that's debatable, but what's not debatable are some of the advantages of eating insects. First of all, eating insects is very eco-friendly, which is very trendy today. If you take beef cattle, cattle eat 4.5 times the amount of food that crickets do to produce the same amount of protein. It's pretty significant. They're also extremely nutritious. In a comparison, scientists found that McDonald's hamburger compared to equal weight of grasshoppers. The grasshoppers contain 80% more protein than the patty from McDonald's. I can hear my daddy now. "Son, are you trying to tell me that soon we're going to be seeing Burger King, home of the Hopper, have it your way with some shoe fly pie any day now?" Well, one of the ways, the next thing we're going to talk about is what type of insects people eat. Well, strangely, did you know that every person in this room already eats insects 1 to 2 pounds a year? In everything from bread to chocolate to applesauce. The 80% of the world's population that do eat insects intentionally, they consume them in their larval forms, such as caterpillars and grubs, because they're easy to catch and they're softer. But if you eat insects in the adult form, the most noticeable factor is their crunchiness. And their exoskeleton is full of fiber, so you could throw your Metamucil away. Now, to tell us what insects taste like, I thought that we would invite a world expert, the supreme chef, the French chef herself, Julia Child, here to tell you about what I can't talk today. The tempting, terrifically, tremendously tantalizing, I can't read these prompters, tantalizing taste of insects. Ant eggs are nutty and sweet. Butterflies and moths vary according to species environment, but whether boiled in water, roasted or fried, some taste like cod or herring, others taste like, can you guess it? Yes, yes, chicken, chicken. Crickets and grasshoppers are very mild in flavor. They absorb the taste of whatever juices they're cooked in. Young lady, I see you fantasizing right now in a JC club, fantasizing something about what grasshoppers would taste like in garlic. Yum and crunchy too. Shield bugs taste just like apples. But don't be a ninny like me. I slaved over my stove, produced this magnificent concoction, served it to my guests, but called it after the common name of the bugs. None of my guests wanted to be surprised by my stink bug surprise. I don't know why. Anyway, bon appetit! Well, now that we have heard from Julia, I thought I would get into the actual business of what do they taste like? Did I do it? Yes, I did. There are no restaurants in Seattle where you can order insects. But I found a place online, and actually they have a store here in Seattle called Science and You. I have these little bugs. These crickets. Bacon and cheese. Sour cream and onion. Salt and vinegar. Let's see what one of these little suckers tastes like. Come on, little cricket. Let's get him out of here.
Oh, come on.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference to you. We have to shut Jiminy up. You know, every time I eat one of these, I have this bad feeling. And it's not because they don't taste good. It's because they taste so much like potato chips and Doritos, which are junk food, which I won't let myself eat. These are really delicious. So there's nothing to keep you from eating insects but your own prejudice. So tonight I want to tell you, in the words of my daddy, I want to bug y'all to go out and eat some bugs.